Okay, what's up guys? So a lot of people struggle with creating materials, you know, like if you've created like objects and you want to like throw a quick material on it, but you don't just want a normal color. If that makes sense. It's actually pretty easy to create materials using the shader editor. So in this video I'm going to just show you. I'm not going to do a lot of materials, I'm just going to do one and just explain how easy it actually is just to create a simple material in Blender. So let's get into it. So I'm going to go Shift A, Mesh, add a cube. This is obviously where we're going to put the material on. And now what you want to do is go here to shading, and then let's go like this, bring it up. Okay, then hit new, make sure that the cube is selected. So basically what you want to do, you want to go Shift A, and then you can either add a noise texture or a void texture, which is there, or you can see these are all the kind of textures you can use. Okay, obviously not image, but like you can use a noise texture, Musgrave texture, void texture. Those are the main three that I suggest using. But let's go Shift A and go noise texture. Okay, then what you want to do is put this here. Now we'll play around with all these later on. Also, just one thing, make sure you go here, preferences. So go to edit, preferences, and type in node and enable node wrangler. I'll explain why later. So now what you want to do is plug the factor into the base color. Okay, that's kind of giving us you can see a little bit of, it almost looks a bit like concrete, but it's not. And then what you want to do is, because we want to control the colors and all that kind of stuff, you want to add a color ramp. So go Shift A, color ramp, and then plug this in there. Bring this here. Okay, this allows us to, so what I'll do is I'll bring this in. You can see it changes this, and then this brings that. So you can leave it at this, or what you can do is change this to constant if you want it to be. You can see constant means it's like kind of smooth, not smooth, but it's like, it's not like, you know what I mean, it's more clear. Constant, I don't know really how to describe it, but you can see the difference between constant and linear. Okay, I like constant, so let's keep it at that. And now what you can also do is change the colors. So if you click on the white and you go here, you can then change the color to anything you want. Okay, and the same for the black, obviously. Click here, or you just bring this up and then change it to that. But I'm going to actually leave it at black and white. So go back, change this, and just pull this all the way down. And now what I do is change this. You can even invert it. You know what I mean? I'm going to leave it at something like that. Okay, the only thing is, if I go to cycles, okay, let's just do this, you can see it's not like, there's no detail on it. It just looks like a cube. So you want to add like texture. And how do we do that? You go Shift A and type in bump. Okay, and then what you want to do is plug the normal into the normal. And now you can see nothing happens because we need to plug the color into the height. And now it looks a bit funny, so the strength is a bit high. So normally I'd put it about 0.1 and then bring this roughness up and then play with the scale. So you can go to 10 and then just play with the strength until you find something that you like. What you could also do is plug the normal into the roughness, and then that gives it kind of a shine to it, you can see. Okay, so you can play around with that too. And then what you can do is you can bring the detail up. This will, you'll see now, this, if you bring it all the way up, it really then adds that texture. And then now look how nice that looks. And you can play around with this roughness if you want. then distortion just will make it all weird. You'll see. Change it like that, but what I'll do is just normally leave it at 0, and then you can now play around with this. So you can see there, change the color still. You can change this to linear, and let's see, it doesn't look as nice. So go back here to constant, and then if you want to change this to have more control, so click here and then hit Control T, which enables the node wrangler add-on, and then you can change the rotation. You can see that allows you to play with this, Y, Z, scale, all that kind of stuff you can play around with. Just gives you a bit more control. But like, that's literally how easy it is to create something a lot nicer than like a normal color. Okay, and now change this to 4D or 40 here, and you can play with the Y. So you can also leave it at 3D. It's also not an issue. And now you can see if I delete this, so go Shift A, texture, and go Musgrave, and then plug the height to the factor, the vector into the vector, and that you can see basically it does exactly the same. You can play with the scale, and then you just plug the height like there into the height, because there's only one place to plug it in here. There's no like color or anything, but it does the same thing. So then you can play with the scale, and then you can play with the detail, and this also just gives it a kind of weird kind of thing. And then plug the normal, the roughness, and yeah, and it's kind of like nice, adds a nice shiny kind of material. And you can play with the dimension. You can see kind of like a nice paint weird looking thing, and then you can always change the color. So boom, bring this up. You can see it's literally that easy just to create nice looking materials. You can play with colors, you can add more colors, you can change this to 40. You can even go to metallic, make it metallic, play around with the strength of the roughness. So you can bring it up all the way. But I just wanted to make this video just to show you how easy it is to create materials, and you don't have to be scared of it. You can literally create some awesome stuff with a simple setup like this. You can obviously add to it, but this is perfect to create nice looking materials in Blender. So let me know if you want me to make like more material node kind of videos, go more into detail with it. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe, check out the Patreon, and I appreciate the support.